the part that works is the capitalism side, not the communism side. The part that works is capitalism. And then the communist side, all it represents is a division between like a caste system of Communist Party members and everybody else, and of massive human rights abuses. That is all that it represents in those societies. And so I agree, the best ism is capitalism, which basically just means you are free to live your life and pursue economic wealth if you choose or not. And if you work hard, you have more opportunities. If you don't work hard, you have less opportunities. It is on you to determine your own destiny, whether you succeed or fail. And yes, under capitalism, you have the freedom to fail, but you also have the freedom to learn what does not work and learn that failing ideas, well, you can reorient yourself and do something that does work. There's no subsidy for failure. And I'm a big fan of traditional capitalism, not crony capitalism, right? T.Z. Burton, you said, I want the same immigration policy that Mexico has. Oh, they don't allow illegal immigration. Yeah, isn't that ironic, right? Folks, try to go to Mexico and overstay your visa. Get a visa. Now, don't maybe take your safety in mind, but try going to Mexico. Get a visa, a tourist, and then try and see what happens if you overstay your visa. Do you know what happens? Well, they will deport you, they will probably fine you, and if you try to go back, you can face a serious criminal charge, as with most countries in Latin America. Try and do that in Costa Rica. Go there, overstay your visa, and then see what happens to you. If you avoid prison, you will be lucky. Right? Normally what happens is they will deport you, they will fine you, and if you try to go back, they will throw you in prison. A lot of countries are like that. And then the people from those countries come here, they overstay their visas, they expect free handouts, and then they cry in front of the cameras when they're, faced with the same type of immigration laws of their own home countries. And they say America is the bad guy for having laws and basic standards. Even aside from everything else, America has some of the loosest, most open, most I think just helpful to the world immigration policies of probably any other country on the face of the planet. And we get criticized the most, and even outside of that, people violate it the most, and we've been really pretty dang forgiving on that. I think it's actually ridiculous, the expectation that has come out on the American system, that somehow, I don't know if people don't understand the immigration policies of most other countries on the face of the planet and think that we have to be different. Yeah, I don't think it works like that. And I think we're starting to see that we're not getting people who want to come here and work hard anymore. We are getting people who come here thinking they're entitled to free handouts from, hardworking Americans. And I think hardworking Americans are having a hard enough time as it is, putting food on our own plates. Let's see here. Judy Akeem, you're saying, at my workplace, they are already rebranding to inclusion and belonging. Yeah, I remember, Judy, you mentioned that, in the chat. Judy, I think you mentioned that you work in one of these DEI things, right? You said they're rebranding to inclusion and belonging. Actually, I saw some of the different groups that work on this. They're using that language now as well. Inclusion, belonging, yeah. There you go. Judy, you also said, help is really disempowering and should only be given when the person can still have a sense of ownership and ability to get on with their lives. It should be a one-time thing. If not, it only serves the ego of the giver who will be played a fool. Yeah, and I don't think it's nice. Imagine this. You have a parent. You might see this sometimes with a mother. And the mother babies their child. They baby the child. The kid scrapes their knee. They cry, oh, my poor baby. My poor baby. Oh, no, your scraped knee. Right? And the kid freaks out and cries, right? They do things to make the kid incapable of facing the difficulties or the realities of the world. They tell their kid, don't get a job, stay in your room, don't do this, I'll take care of you, I'll feed you, I'll do everything for you. The kid lives in the house every day, doesn't leave the house, doesn't work, doesn't go to school. Is that mother being kind to the child and responsible to the child? Or are they hurting that child? Right? I think that if you want to be responsible to a person, you will help them become independent. You don't want to control them. And I think that is true kindness. If you want to be responsible to a person, you need to teach them how to take care of themselves. And you need to give them the faculties to be able to take care of themselves, which means, being able to face the hardships of the world. You're going to get your knees scraped. You're going to get called mean names every now and then. People are not going to be nice to you. You're going to have to work with somebody and you don't like them. They're mean to you. Your boss is mean to you. Some days you have a bad day. Some days you have a good day. And you need to grit your teeth and stick with it and not quit. And that is being responsible to yourself. Not just giving up whenever you run into something difficult. Teaching a kid to live like that and face the realities of the world and live with the uncomfortable nature that you'll encounter. That is being responsible to them. And this type of victimhood mentality, this type of dependence mentality, this type of idea that every mean word is somehow, the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and you should cry wolf every time something goes wrong in your life, you're not going to be happy if you live like that. In my opinion, if you want to have a happy life, you don't do that by trying to eliminate everything in the world that would make you unhappy. You live a happy life by being able to deal with all the unhappy things of the world and to learn to not be affected by it, right? You need to develop a type of inner strength, I believe. And I think that will create a good person. To be kind is not just being kind when everybody's nice to you. To be kind is learning to be kind when other people are mean to you. To be brave is not to have nothing that would scare you. To be brave is to learn to be unmoved and unshaken in your resolve even when things do scare you, right? And I think this type of inner strength and inner character is what makes good people and what makes independent people. And I think it's this inner strength and inner good that communism and socialism try to destroy in people. It makes them jealous, it makes them hateful, it makes them infantile, and it makes them worthless as human beings. And I think those are not good for people. I think it's terrible, anybody who spreads those things. And I think it goes against the very basis of what it means to be a happy person. You're going to create miserable people if you teach them to be that way. And so I don't think these things are good for people personally, right? Which is also the opposite of religion as well. Religion teaches you to, turn the other cheek. Religion teaches you to be good despite the evils of the world. Religion teaches a type of internal refinement, right? A type of inner strength and a type of self-responsibility. And I think that is the counterbalance to all these wrongs of the world. That said, folks, thank you so much for being here.